So, the Santa Teresa Hills, you see them every day on your way to school or work. They are the backdrops to some of the most beautiful sunsets. But what exactly goes on there? What is the history behind them? Why is the ranch house being preserved? Are there mountain lions, snakes, or any other danger? Is it safe to be up there? What is on the other side? What makes it a historical landmark? Where is its location? Is it an exclusive park? Can anyone go? What are park hours? This is Jan Schreiner, and she works for the Santa Clara County Parks and Recreation. Jan told us everything we needed to know about how this place got started, how it became a park, and what happens here today.
Hi, I'm Jan Schreiner. I work with the Santa Clara County Parks and Recreation Department. I'm called a park interpreter, which just means I'm explaining the language of the cultural and natural resources that we have in the parks. And today I'm standing in what the parks calls part of Santa Teresa Park. It's the historic site. It's the Bernal Glomac Joyce Ranch. So why did parks keep this particular ranch house of all the ranch houses that were here in the Santa Clara Valley? An important piece of that was because of the Juan Bautista de Anza colonizing expedition. It happened in 1776. And it was a pretty amazing expedition because it was a little over 200 people and most of them were under the age of 18. So I think that's amazing. And I think half of them were under the age of 12. So a lot of youth with that colonizing expedition. And one of them was a 14-year-old named Jose Joaquin Bernal. And Jose Joaquin, as a 14-year-old, saw that year-round water itself on the property and remembered this until he retired as a soldier and brought his family here as part of his retirement package, the land grant from the King of Spain in the early 1800s. But I think it's just so cool that there were teenagers involved in very important steps, finding the place and then finding the significance of the place. So both Jose Joaquin Bernal and James Delgado. And to this day we still have a lot of Eagle Scouts contributing projects, sometimes volunteering to help with things like movie nights here, where they have weird sci-fi movies and things about carnivorous plants and tarantulas and different things like that John does. So that's Bernal Ranch, the long history and sort of where we are today.
There were approximately 200 people working and living around the ranch area. In this time period, it was much harder living. They had no electricity, gas, or anything else, so they had to use handheld washers, start their own fires for cooking, and use ice to keep certain foods cold. Also, the housing was pretty small, so children had to sleep in their parents' room for lack of space.
This is the old kitchen, and you can see an old wood stove. These basins that are here in the kitchen are supposed to be just sort of reminiscent of what people used back then. They didn't have indoor plumbing, so there's no kitchen sink. But some of the other things are just designed to look like a 1910 kitchen. So this is the part where people would kind of hang out, make music, and rest after a long day on the ranch. So it doesn't function anymore, but that's an old music box, dominoes, and some kind of game board that people use buttons as the pieces. Can you pick up that old picture? This is part of the family on a long pack trip to the Merced River. And that's kind of cool. They used to ride and take camping gear for long trips.
Wow, so a lot of history here. So much culture and such a story of triumph. So apart from checking out the amazingly presented ranch house, what else can you do around here? Well, there's running, jogging, hiking, walking, biking, amazing wildlife, children and adult programs, parties, a golf course on the east end of the stretch, and not to mention the beautiful sights and picturesque views, great photography spots, a duck pond, but sorry, no fishing. And if you take a walk around the neighborhood, you'll see what a great place this is. What a beautiful view. The other places you can chill around this community include La Colina Park, the golf course, and is it true that you can throw water balloons at the Leland Chargers from the top? No. But can we? So next time you're jogging around these parks, a family walk after dinner, or just a stroll around the park, remember all of the history here, the blood, sweat, and tears, all of it took to create the wonderful place we call home, and the many amazing people who beautified and maintained these parks today.